Saturday night. And welcome from the frostbitten frenzy that is SMASHMOUTH Saturday night. I am SKIP LLOYD coming to you live with my broadcast partner Chris back on commentary. How you doing tonight, Command?
It is a great night to be here on SMASHMOUTH Saturday night. We have two playoff teams, or two teams vying for playoff position at the league.
And as you can see, we've got a battle between two teams clawing for a wild card spot from here in the Howling Moon Dome. We've got 2 7-7 squads. The ICEPACK, they have got to finish strong, which means cooling off Smokey Smith, who's been red hot, and pushing the pocket to force him into pressure. Meanwhile, Albuquerque has to keep on running. They have to win in the trenches, and they have a chance to clinch the division right here tonight.
Yeah, the Dukes have been relying a little too heavy on Smokey the last couple weeks, so we'll see if they can be balanced at all tonight against a strong ICEPACK defense.
Absolutely. Now, back, you've seen Marcus McLeod. He has been a steady veteran quarterback. Could he be a franchise quarterback with numbers like this on the season?
He's pretty dang good. He just needs the team around him. He doesn't really have that weapon that he can go to, but he's pretty dang good.
Well, we know he's at least got one big weapon. When you talk about receivers, it's all about Travis Connell, but that's not who he dumped it off to there. Instead, it looks like maybe that was Jennings or Huffman. Jennings. It's Jeremiah Jennings, another crafty veteran at the receiver spot, picking up the first down. First and 10 after that first down. McLeod throwing it. Oh, and almost intercepted.
Ooh. Bad decision right there. After we talk the guy up, he makes a horrible decision. And also the ICEPACK, you know, they're in talks. They're the rumor mill. They're eyeing that Andrew Frost trade. So
that's true. He has been on the record as he throws it out to McConnell in the flats. Frost has been very clear. He said he wants to play close to home. Well, he happens to be an Alaska native, so can't get any closer than Anchorage, right? You think they would really move on from McLeod? They do have more cap space than any team in the league.
Yeah, they, what is it, like 110 or something like
insane.
that?
I don't know how they have such a decent squad with such a high room on their cap.
I think the only team behind them that's even close are the Wildcats with like 71 or 72 million.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you got to think they would pull the trigger if they've got the money and the space to do it. And that would be a dangerous team.
Sure would. But for now, it's McLeod staying in the shotgun, throwing a bubble screen out to the flat and getting a couple, but not much.
Yeah, this Dukes defense, they're a bend but don't break defense, and the last couple weeks, you know, they've won the majority of their games, and they are pushing for the playoffs really tight right here.
Absolutely. The Dukes certainly underrated all around as a team, but they have been definitely underrated on the defensive side of the ball. GM head coach Walt Shelby has certainly done an impressive job building on both sides, but when I was looking through the stats of the league before the game, I noticed that the Dukes are one of the only teams with multiple safeties on the season.
They have, correct, as there's a body bag on the field right there.
Preston, yeah, zips him up and closes, puts the toe tag on McLeod, so to speak.
Yeah, and I don't have my stats for the safeties in the league in front of me right now. But I do know, you're right, they have 2 safeties, and it's by the same guy both times.
I believe it's veteran Scott Tyson, the defensive end, who has actually made some waves about mid-season when he said he wasn't here to be a mentor. He was here to win games, and there was rumors he might get dealt at the trade deadline. Dukes hold on to him, and he has been a stud for them from the defensive line spot.
What a catch right there over the top.
Slinging it in there to Flanagan. Big catch for the big tight end.
That was amazing. The tight ends have really shown up for the league in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and it's been insane and fun to watch.
Absolutely. So McLeod's got room here just outside the red zone. Drops back out of the shotgun.
Methodically.
Out to the flats, up to around the 15. They're going to say the 14-yard line on that one.
And McLeod's hit 53 yards on this drive alone.
Takes the handoff, another bubble screen. Could not make it work that time. A little bit of miscommunication trying to hit the tight end.
Yeah, I'm not sure what offense they're running here, but they are doing a lot of RPOs and screens.
McLeod in the flats, but he can't hold on.
Separation anxiety right there.
Catch. George French could not hold on, causing the fourth. They're going to have to settle for 3 instead of pushing for 6.
That's a disappointing end to your drive right there. You had the Dukes number. You drove all the way down the field. You're having a great passing attack. And then you settle for a field goal.
Now, this certainly is a position that, like you said, the Dukes with that bend but don't break defense, much better, giving up 3, feeling better, bringing your offense on with a rookie quarterback. And the defense has really kept them in it these last few weeks after a tough start. And speaking of tough starts, what can you tell us about Smokey Smith?
That's all I was about to say. Smokey Smith started out this season, and I know a lot of whispers, a lot of murmurs around the league where maybe he just wasn't ready and he wasn't the guy. As you see right there, he's over 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I think he's the damn guy after seeing the last half of the season. And he has impressed and shown that he, with the correct GM, who seems to be Walt Shelby, as they run a great 11-yard run right there, he seems like he could be the guy to build this franchise around.
Absolutely, and you notice as they leaned a little bit more on the run game, Smokey improved and improved. He can't do it all himself. It's a team game. Having a strong complementary run attack allows him to play at his best, like he does right there, slinging it over the middle for a first down.
Yeah, and that's when he's happy, when he's open, when he's safe, he's good. When he starts taking hits, he's a rookie. He starts getting jittery, starts getting a little trigger happy, and he starts making bad decisions. The run again, great run right up the middle. And that's 2 rushes for, I think, 18 yards now.
Yeah, Antoine Pollard has certainly turned it on this season. The Dukes have had a little bit of a running back by committee approach, but, 235 pounds, 6 feet tall, kind of a tank just running at you. Really interesting. Oh, and it looks like, speaking of interesting, we might have an injury on the field here. He's refusing to help from the medical staff.
Not telling anybody what to do, but the Dukes, if you're listening, there are a couple really good halfback rookies that'll be hitting the draft in year 2.
That's true. They've still got Quentin Tomlinson, but I believe he is injured still. If they make the playoffs, Tomlinson, their starting running back, may be able to make it back in time, but that's a big if. Meanwhile, Patrick Taylor with a body bag.
Yeah, the big if. I mean, almost every week is lately, the last 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, has been if they win, they still have a chance. Not if they win, they make it. They're just on the cusp of having chances.
Now you talk about their chances. How is it that a team at 7-7 not only is talking about just getting in, but potentially still having a chance to win their division?
I mean, in all seriousness, that division, no shame, no disrespect, that division is trash this year. So, I mean, every team has been, this is the first week that this division has had a not losing record, an under 500 record. And it's the Dukes at 7-7, the Surfer at like 6-7. The
Sandstorm probably, I think, 6-7 as well.
I think they're at like 6-8 now. After this week. They're not having the Sandstorm led the division with an under 500 record until like the last 2 weeks, and then that's when the Dukes took control. As Smokey looking good here, driving on down the field.
Speaking of taking control, Smokey Smith got them in the shotgun, 2nd and 3. Hands off, trying to go way off tackle. Pollard cannot get it done, leaving them with 3rd and 3. You see Smokey looking for the next play. They're staying in a bit of a pistol shotgun set here.
And I think Smokey has a relative playing tight end. Oh, takes off. I think Smokey has a tight end going to NC State where he was last year, so that'll be interesting to see.
And speaking of tight ends, they have quite the big one of the rookie tight end, Clint Snyder. See if maybe they force the ball to him. Nope, going with the halfback. 2nd and goal. Not get much there out of the shotgun. Delayed run.
You got to think they trust in Smokey here and take a shot, just even if it's a quick slant or a little little, you know, they run it again. Touchdown.
He's in off the right side. Touchdown, Albuquerque Dukes. Antoine Pollard looking like a jackrabbit, scurrying through the hole off the right side, untouched. Graces his places into the end zone and showing them faces.
Great drive, Smoke. Sorry, I have to wait for Skip to finish with his Dr. Seuss moment.
Well, I never know where it's going, so you don't. Nobody knows when you should jump in.
As they have a 7-3 lead here. That was a great drive. 12 plays, 72 yards, 6 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock. That's Commissioner Back's offense. That's my style of football right there. You take a chunk off the clock, you get a good mixed bag of yards, and then you get 6 points at the end.
After a strong bend-don't-break defensive performance, keeping them to 3, it looks a lot different at 7-3 now with 2:21 in the first quarter than it does if it were 7-7.
And then a heck of a play there on the special teams coverage.
Absolutely. Now you talk about talented receivers. The ICEPACK have one, and that's Travis Connell, who leads the league in receptions at this point, which is certainly a feather in his cap, but he cares a lot more about winning and getting a playoff berth. As he hits it out to the flat, and it looks like he gets the halfback in the flat and gets the first down on the screen.
Shimmy and shake out there in the out there in the flats, makes a couple guys miss and gets some good yards.
Second-year back Percy Autry making that play as another sack. Reston. Not resting and making sure McLeod is on his back, looking well rested, getting zipped up in another body bag. 2nd and 17.
Reston making us call his name out twice now. That was a great play as they hand off at the middle.
Not getting much on that one. 3rd and 14 for the ICEPACK here at home in the Howling Moon Dome. We've got 32 seconds. McLeod out of the shotgun. Gets the ball, drifts backwards, going on the screen. He's got a man, but not enough for the first down. They're going to be shy by 6. Looking like they're going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, that was another good defensive stand there by the Dukes, making us eat our words. Or maybe not eat our words, but, strengthen our words, because that's what we said. They bend, don't break. At that time, they just broke the will of the ICEPACK on offense, as that's the end of the first quarter.
Sure is, and what a first quarter. Dukes looking strong, looking to continue a strong push in the second half of this season behind a rookie quarterback and a rookie GM head coach. And they are looking good through 1.
Yeah, Walt Shelby's done a great job with this team this year. There's 5 or 6 user GMs.
There were questions with some of the moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, they traded a lot of players away, as it's probably going to come back on holding here. Yep. Yeah, there were some questionable moves there. Specifically, the first one that comes to mind is Earl Rose, and who has had a heck of a season for the Bombers. They get their 5 yards back from the holding.
That's right. I'm trying to remember what the Earl Rose trade was. I feel like it was pretty big, but I cannot remember the capital as I'm searching through my notes.
And Walt Shelby is in the chat right now watching the game, so maybe he can chime in and get us that, because like you said, we have stats and everything, but we don't have the trade stuff. We'll have to look that up and get back to you.
Now, if you are a super fan who's super interested in being part of a super esports football league that is growing, we are always looking to fill new roles like a statistician, someone to be a master stat tracker and information keeper, as well as other positions across social media. But when you're talking about important new things for the league, Beck, tell us a little bit about the first official sponsor.
Yeah, W Energy is our first official sponsor. They are a pretty dang good. I have my first pack coming in. Should be here anytime soon. I'm going to test it out and let you guys know how it is. But if you get it and use promo code RIVALS, you'll get 10% off. And it's a pretty good product. I've been doing some reviews, doing some research, and they got all kinds of flavors. Out of this world energy, and without all the jitters and drop that you'll get from major energy drinks. As Smokey Smith has the 3rd down and 5 here. This is where you make your name.
Over the middle, complete big conversion there, just
Great
in time.
They're driving down the field again, looking good. They made that mistake early. They got accounted for it, got the 1st down, and now they're down the field.
Oh, and there's Coach GM Shelby saying Earl Rose trade was for receiver Matt Reeves and a 2nd-round draft pick.
I mean, at the time, it's worth it. He wasn't gelling with Smokey. He wasn't working out with Walt Shelby, the GM and the coach. And, at the time, they pulled the trigger, and it looked like a bad decision out the gate as Rose, I think at that point, has 2 bad passes back-to-back by Smokey Smith there.
Rose wasn't doing much.
At the time, Rose wasn't doing much, and then he went to the Bombers, and he single-handedly won, I believe, 3 games out of 4 for the Bombers.
But meanwhile, when you look at what the Dukes got, they traded away a receiver in the last year of his deal with an unknown salary demand, and they got in return a #1 receiver with 4 years left on his deal and a 2nd-round draft pick. So you got to say, looking at it now, both teams made out pretty well. Would you call that one a wash?
Yeah, I think that one's a wash. It's it's good. I think he made the report card. Hindsight's 20/20, right? So with the report card on that trade, I think he made a good decision. As the Dukes can't do anything here and have to punt it away. But I think it's a pretty good deal overall.
Earl Rose even stays with the Bombers, you'd think so, but I don't think
that's what I was about to say, because then he would have had the headache of trying to re-sign Earl Rose, and you never know how that goes. So, like you said, he's got a guy for guaranteed 4 years. He's got another draft pick to add on to to add to his team for next year in the year 2 draft. So I think that it was a pretty dang good deal.
Meanwhile, McLeod throwing it deep left into traffic.
Oh.
There's a flag. Let's see if it's coming back on the hold here. No. DeAndre Gregory, superstar cornerback, called for pass interference. They're playing tight coverage.
Well, now he better be glad he didn't get that interception. Cloud has all day there. Great passing catch. We're getting down about 8:15, 8:20 or so when this next snap goes off, and their time's getting down to in the first half here. And ICEPACK's got to get something going on offense.
Great utilization of the clock by the Dukes so far in this game. Let's see if the ICEPACK can start to put together a bit of a prolonged drive themselves. McLeod chucking it deep, incomplete.
Great defense. That's how you, as a safety, that's how you separate the receiver from the ball. That was a big heads-up play there.
Yeah, McLeod put it a little high, and Jennings, a little under 6 feet, had to really climb the ladder and just could not bring it down. Instead, hands off out of the shotgun. Nice, strong run by George French.
He got leveled at the end of that run there. That was a great run, but a big hit at the end. Empty set here, 5 wide. Brings a halfback back up, staying 5 wide.
Orbit motion, trying to go out in the bubble screen in the flat. Maybe a little too predictable, sending Percy Autry out wide.
Why? Everybody knows I hate the screen, and that was a dumb screen.
Yeah, not a great time to be calling that when you had short yardage. Could have potentially just gotten another run up the gut there.
Yeah, you just ran for 8 to 12 yards, and then you come out and try to do a screen. It makes no sense.
Pollard's
having a decent day here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just under 50 yards and the touchdown so far on the game. So certainly playing an excellent in relief of injured Quentin Tomlinson as Smokey Smith scrambles up for the first down and then some. A little high step hurdle action. Twinkling his toes.
We're going to hear about that one as the big mouth, loud voice Smokey Smith does what he did back in his NC State days. And he saw some green and took off and got the first down.
Yeah, he looked like he was tiptoeing through the tulips on that one.
Absolutely, and it was a great play. And he's fired up right now.
confident. Smokey Smith, 2nd and 1 out of the shotgun. Back goes out on a route, throws, but incomplete. A little too high.
Going down 3rd and 1, you gotta run up the middle here. Teams have to start running better.
They're certainly putting a lot of manpower up there. Instead, hitting him in the flat. He's got it complete for the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a good play. Made me eat my words there as he hits the guy in the flats. But I like to see, you know, 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1. You got to line up and just take the run up the gut. But I guess, you know, that's what's got them here, right? They've won a couple.
And Josh
it's got
Mitchell,
them in contention for a playoff.
Flat when you're 6'3" at receiver, pretty big target. Dumped it over the middle to an even bigger target. Clint Snyder, all of 6'7".
Yeah, and Snyder was one of those draft picks that when he went off the board, every coach and GM in the conference call, or whatever you want to call it, let out a moan as they knew they let one go there.
Yeah, Snyder was in high demand, but certainly couldn't be picked by everybody. Only one team can claim a tight end like that, and the Dukes got him.
There's 3, you know, for anybody listening, there's 3 as Smokey goes down again. Every time he rolls out to his right side on a design, like when he tries to roll out, except for the one time he scrambled, which was an improvision. But when he rolls out to that right side, he gets down every time.
He really does. He certainly knows how to take advantage and make the most of those plays, but this time they're having to punt it away, and it is going to be a touchback.
Yeah, and what I was saying real quick there was in the college season, we're going to have 3 user tight ends this year, so it'll be interesting to see how big of a key piece the tight ends play in the college season, and then how eager GMs are going to be to draft them.
Yeah, well, we certainly saw quite a few tight ends get drafted in the year 1 draft, so got to expect that teams will be clamoring for some more seam stretchers.
Yeah, and I love me some tight ends. They're receivers that can actually help your run game, and I love it.
And meanwhile, we're looking at a 3rd and 3 here. See what McLeod can do with 2 backs in the shotgun with him. Lets the play clock almost wind down there. Flushed out to the right, has to throw it away, and that is incomplete. Dukes forcing another stop on defense. Big defensive night for Albuquerque.
Yeah, Dukes showing up again, man. But their offense, this is the Dukes' problem. This is why they're 7-7. Their defense will give them tons of shots throughout the game, and they just can't capitalize. If they scored as many times as their defense gave them chances, they'd be having Buffalo Brawlers numbers, but they're not. And this is where Smokey Smith's got to get better, and the coaches have got to get better on the play call and getting him able to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, because you look at the roster on paper and you think, wow, the Dukes have it all together, yet they can't seem to put a consistent win streak together.
Yeah, as you see another little quick hook out there in the flats, and it's just, you know, they got to try to, I don't know. I get it. He's a young rookie. He's a quarterback. It's this heavy set right here off to the right side. Are they going to actually run it, or are they going to take a shot?
Too much shaking and baking from the big man, brought down for no gain.
Yeah, that was, you know, like you said, you got to go north to south as we hit the 2-minute warning here. That shaking and bacon's for once you get past the first level. You got to get past that first level first.
Absolutely, and you know, that's also maybe size dependent as he drops back and has a perfect setup on the screen. It actually looked like a busted pass coverage, but instead a perfectly dialed up screen, but the back drops it, leading to a 3rd and 10.
He had nothing but blue field in front of him.
Throws but gets hit on the release. Certainly pushing that ball wild. Fortunately, it's out of bounds.
Yeah, and you saw there again, they pushed him to that right side of the pocket. So, you know, I have to look at the lineup and the depth chart, but that right side of their line seems to be the weak spot.
which is interesting because on paper you would argue that from the center to the right, tackle is the strongest part of the Dukes line. But you're right, you're seeing maybe the age of right guard Emmett Reeves at 32, center Cordell Shields at 33, and veteran journeyman Ben Ramsey about 26 going on 27, but maybe the interior on the right is showing its age a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. It's just collapsing. If his left side holds, and then, there a little pressure gets in, and he's just got to roll out to that right side, and the protection's just not there for an extended period of time.
Yeah, you'd think on paper that the weak spot on the Dukes line is left tackle KJ Thomas, who's just clearly a step below the rest of the starters, and instead, the only thing that the right side of the line has working against them is Father Time, who it catches everybody.
Oh, the flag is down. Is that a safety?
Another safety for the Dukes. Incredible. The Dukes defense is doing everything.
No, they're saying he's on the one.
What?
That was not a safety.
Show the replay. Man. I feel like the Dukes were robbed of a safety there.
I want to see the forward progress on that because that was nuts.
The commissioner may have to find the officials after the game.
Well, here's a chance for Smokey. You got a minute and a half. This is where he thrives. For some reason, when he's under the gun, under pressure, he thrives. So let's see if the Dukes can go down and score here. Deep in the ICEPACK territory already, so take a shot.
With one timeout still remaining, play action. Dumps it off to the left, looking like he's just trying to get rid of it to avoid taking a sack. His tongue was applying pressure from the corner position.
As you see, GM Walt Shelby and claiming that it was rigged. We'll get on that. We'll see what's going on there. Smokey again rolling to that right side with no time.
They are just bringing the heat and trying to smoke Smokey out.
If I'm the ICEPACK right now, I'm blitzing heavy on that right side and forcing him to roll.
He's got time, but he's too much movement, and they finally get home on the sack. Huge play for the defense. Absolutely what they needed. Malcolm Knight at 6'6", 270. Malcolm Knight blocks out the sun and blotted out the line of sight for Smokey Smith, bringing him down at midfield right on the fangs.
Yeah, that was nothing. That was nasty. They let the clock tick down as far as they can. Punt the ball away, and
if that's not symbolic of the Duke season right there. They have the lead, they have great field position, and then absolutely squandered.
Yeah, and to give you a little glimpse into the Rivals Radio episode that will release tomorrow morning at its usual time of 11 a.m., Wally and Dee talk about the Dukes needing to shore up their offensive line. So
you got to think that the Dukes are going to have to invest in the offensive line, whether it's in the free agency period or the draft or both, but they certainly could use an infusion of youth and talent.
Yeah, and there's going to be a few user and what we call generics in this league, like the computer, we call them true freshmen. There's going to be a couple true freshmen coming up, but they will have 4 years to get seasoned, so you might want to put them on your boards and see what happens with them.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Anchorage struggling to take advantage of getting the possession themselves. Instead, a little bit of back and forth with the punt game, and this game starting to stall out. Fortunately, the Dukes still have the lead as they return the punt, but are getting brought down. Oh, and it's
fumble!
And they return it. He picks it up.
Are you crazy? Are you insane? This is a touchdown.
It's a stroll in the park for the ICEPACK as they scoop and score. There's no longer a league. Brian Plummer is here, and he gets 7 or 6 for the ICEPACK on the scoop and score.
Falling back, he just took a kidney shot and just dropped that ball. Jeez, what a way to end the half there. To take the lead for the ICEPACK at home here.
Momentum. Have you swung? Orlando Richards fumbling the return, and it looked like he was just trying to make a play. He's so fast, He has such twitchy acceleration, speed, change of direction. He was just trying to make a play, got caught up by the gunner, stripped, and that was about as bad a return as he could have had, as big a momentum swing as the ICEPACK could have asked for right before the half.
And you heard somebody in the crowd there yell, "Throw the ball," but they just hand it off, and they're going to go into the locker room here at halftime.
Yeah, you got to regroup. Now, I wonder, you know, if you're Coach Shelby, what do you say to your team? Coach, I see you in the chat. I don't know if you have to go talk to your team, but if you could tell us, what do you say to your team at halftime here? Because what was looking like a strong chance to take a stranglehold quickly turned on a dime, and the ICEPACK are up at home.
Yeah, they got away from running the ball, and they're not as balanced. And when that happens, and they're acting on the offense like they're down by 20, but they're at the time they were up by 4. They just need to come out and be more balanced, run the ball, get Smokey in a routine like you did in that first drive, punch the ball in the end zone.
Well, if not for nothing else, I would like to point out that the ICEPACK have followed one of Skip's keys to the game by applying pressure on Smokey Smith, and so far it is working out.
As they had a little quick slant out there. I don't even think that was a slant. Whatever it was, it's going to be 2nd and 4. Come out in a big set here. This is what they need. Big set, show run, and if it's there, pass.
D. Daniels was able to catch up with Coach Shelby right at the half. And he said he was going to tell his team, do your job and take care of the football. We're doing too much out there.
Tight ends going in motion all over the field here before the snap.
Oh, and
they run the ball.
That's the first down. Stay with the run game.
Yes. The running back is looking a little bit like rookie Lewis Montana of the Natives. He's got the size. He's decent speed. He can bounce off that first contact. Run the ball.
And they are staying with it. They must have hurt you, but instead, the ICEPACK sniffed that one out, stopping them after 3. A little bit of a pistol set now. And he's throwing it left into the flats. Nice pickup there, but still short by 2. 3rd and 2.
Got that ball a little freely out there, kind of holding it out like a loaf of bread for whoever.
Getting it off. He's got room off to
There
the
you go. Run for that first down.
Yeah, there you go.
Wear them down. Ground and pound. Let's go.
Seems like we're having a little bit of ice on the broadcast lines, so if you see those little glitches, don't even worry about it. That's just some of the frozen temperatures here at the Howling Moon Dome as 2 teams are trying to thaw out their chance at a playoff run. 2nd and 6, quickly dumping it off into the flats, but only getting a couple. It's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Dukes from the 43-yard line now, going under center for Smokey Smith.
Yeah, they're coming out in kind of a heavy set again. Little quick pass out in the flats. He's got him.
And there he is, Matt Reeves, the man we were talking about earlier that came over from the Bombers, along with a 2nd-round pick for Earl Rose. They're going to have this guy for 4 more years, and if he's making plays like that, then they are glad to have him.
Yeah, and if you, like you said, if you got him at receiver, you've got a decent running back, you've got Smokey at quarterback. I mean, I think you got to go in the next draft. You got to shore up that defense, but especially that offensive line as it's tipped and almost intercepted. But you got to shore up that offensive line and give Smokey some more time to do some damage.
Yeah, you could argue that the Dukes have actually laid an incredible foundation when you think of having Smokey Smith on a rookie deal, Clint Snyder on a rookie deal. Oh, he's got room, but he's also got the flag. Maybe nothing to get too excited about here. Yep, it's coming back. Ben Ramsey on the hold, unfortunately. But like I was saying, you got 2 rookies that are at key starting positions, quarterback and tight end. You got a solid running back in Tomlinson if he can stay healthy. You got receivers like Matt Reeves and Josh Michels and Orlando Richards, even though he had the fumble. But that offensive line is certainly potentially starting to show its wear and tear. And there's also several key veterans showing a lot of age on the defense. So they've certainly got to restock the cupboard after a very strong first draft.
Yes, sir. We have quite a few people in the chat right now, so hit a hashtag Rivals, and you'll get some extra credits for the game for showing up tonight.
They've got it 1st and 10 under center, handing it off. He's
got
wide
open.
Fights. Just brought down shy of the goal line. I thought he had it.
He tried to juke. He should have lowered his shoulders and piled over that guy.
Absolutely.
But regardless, great run. This has been a great drive.
Smith looking, throws right. He's got
Wide
it.
open.
It's caught for a touchdown, and the Dukes take the lead.
That was Snyder, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
On a big catch from a big man.
Rookie to rookie. That's what they need to do.
And you got to think that if they could find Snyder a little more often up the seams, if that guy gets going vertical, look out. I think at 6'7", 270, he is going to be a star in this league.
Yeah, that was a great drive. That you know, again, they opened it up. That's what they have to do. So there you go. 7.5 minutes, 14 plays, 74 yards. Give your defense time to rest, punch it in, take the lead, and now your defense is ready to hit McLeod.
You know,
big hit on the kickoff.
I believe that was Snyder's first touchdown on the season.
There's no way.
I believe it was.
That's insane.
He's got 690 yards, or no, I'm sorry, 500 and some odd yards, and no touchdowns to date. So that would be his first after 70 catches on the season.
McLeod, the flats are killing them, man. They're not throwing anything deeper than 10 or 15 yards tonight.
Yeah, you'd like to see him stretch the field more, especially because McLeod certainly does have the arm to do it. He's in fact got maybe one of the biggest arms in the league, but it seems that they just, under this scheme, which is a bit more of a West Coast zone run, that they play a little bit more in the middle, in the slants.
3rd and inches here. You think they're going to run up the middle, but they're passing. They get it. He's wide open.
Up the sideline. Big play for Travis Connell, who again came into this game leading the league in receptions.
As Walt Shelby said, it's true. Skip Lloyd knows his stuff. That was his first touchdown of the year.
Well, I do research before the game. I watch almost all of them.
Absolutely. You should too. Go back and watch all the games.
That's
there's
right.
playlists on the channel for college and pro, and there's the Rivals Radio playlist that will also release a new episode tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.
So if you want to know something about the league, either do all of those things or just ask Ronnie Taylor.
Ronnie Taylor, who is currently leading the league in credits.
By a long shot, just like that touchdown, a dart over the middle from Marcus McLeod straight to Marcus Huffman. One Marcus to another, brother to brother. That is a frozen rope here at the Howling Moon Dome. Boy, does McLeod know how to zip it. Hard to believe they would move on from a guy with an arm like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. If I were running the ICEPACK, I would focus on other weaknesses. McLeod seems to be the guy.
He's in his prime, 28 years old, 6'4", 230. Not a mobile guy, but he is a gunslinger for sure.
As there, I mean, and when you look at the draft, you know, looking at the organization, looking at the college seasons, the college league coming up, there's a lot of quarterbacks coming up over the next 2 or 3 seasons. So
yeah, they
you
can
keep McLeod and get another quarterback in a draft 2 or 3 years down the road.
Right. In the meantime, they could certainly use some help, maybe along the offensive line more than any place else.
I mean, watching this season, almost everyone needs offensive line help, and almost everyone needs halfbacks.
If you're looking to be on your road to being a pro. It starts in the college series, and as Commissioner Back was just saying, if you're looking to create a player, then the ones that might be in the highest demand over the next few draftable seasons would be offensive line and running back.
Yeah, and you can make, for anyone wanting to know, you can control and make 2 players per season. One has to be on offense, one has to be on defense. So if you're a defensive guy and you want to make, a kick butt linebacker, go ahead and make a freshman offensive lineman and let him mature and build up throughout the seasons.
He could be a stud in the pro league because teams are certainly depleted along the offensive line heading into the end of year 1 here in the pro league. And since we're in year 1, it's filling us with energy.
Yeah, and just a little shout out there to W. They do watch our games. They've commented and let us know that they do step in and watch our games a little bit. That was a great play.
Now he's in a bit of an empty set here as he brings Travis Connell in, up and back out on a motion. A little bit of an orbit motion there, and he gets just a couple. That's a 3-yard gain.
And McLeod in these last two drives, he's kind of said, everybody shut up, sit down, and let me drive.
Yeah, and he is certainly the conductor. He is the man that makes this offense go. He has so much zip, so much strength on those passes. Hard to hold on to. Actually, Travis Connell said in their bye week, the best part was giving his hands a break from the beating.
Yeah, we see that a lot of times with quarterbacks. They throw so hard, and they throw so hard to everyone. They're not prejudiced. They hit everybody the same way, and you just got to learn to catch or get out of the way.
Yeah, no prima donnas, please, around Marcus McLeod. He is going to throw lightning strikes, and he has gotten the ICEPACK at a 2nd and 8, but they are in striking distance, you could say, certainly within field goal range at this point.
Yeah, and this is definitely a much better game for SMASHMOUTH than we've had as we go into the 4th quarter. Get your 4s up in the chat. This is by far the tightest, best game we've had on SMASHMOUTH in about 2 or 3 weeks now.
It's already the 4th quarter? Where did this game go?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, man. This game has flown by.
And thanks for being here with us, watching it live or on replay. Know that there is going to be so much more coming in the playoffs, into the college series, into the pro league offseason as we march on towards the draft and year 2. So much in store that we can't wait to keep sharing with you.
Yeah, and working with the guys, getting the mod ready for the fully customizable. If you're a GM, you're going to want to stick around and be in this league, as you will have full customization and full control of your team, unlike any other system we've ever been in. As he takes a shot down to the 7-yard line.
Flanagan getting the first, and the time will only tell how both of these teams will look next season, as every pro team is undergoing a cosmetic upgrade as they are going to be baked into the brand new mod that Commissioner Back was just talking about. And if you join on as a GM, the whole Nexus conference is about to be created, and you can have influence on your team's design.
Yeah, the Apex is pretty much done, and we're about to move into the Nexus conference and get them all done. So,
but you can't claim the Dukes because those belong to Walt Shelby, who is probably having a mild heart attack right now as he watches McLeod pick his defense apart as he hits Travis Connell on 2nd down.
Yeah, just a real quick update, too. If you want to get in on the college season, the applications close in 24 days. So 24 days, we start implementing and building all the rosters onto the new game, we have decided that we will be going to College Football 26, and we're going to get you guys built. It may or may not be live. Some of it will probably be live. Some of it may be recorded, but you will be able to see all of your players being built as the ICEPACK have to settle for a field goal try here.
But they have still got the point advantage as they are just trying to add a couple where they can to stay on top here at home.
They're now down. The Dukes have to score a touchdown here. So let's see if we get the calm, collected Smokey that makes good decisions and we get to see some runs, or if he's going to start spazzing out. We have to see some passes trying to get down the field. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league as a rookie, and he just needs to realize it and lock in.
Absolutely. Just got to settle down, but the only way out is through, and this is his first season, like you said, each game high pressure, and that time converting, getting the first down there.
Yeah, and the only thing that I would like to see, and I hate saying this because I don't like quarterbacks that run the ball very much, but Smokey does need to utilize his mobilization a little bit better. But you see the points allowed today, they've only allowed 14, and they're 27th in the league. So this is a team that usually allows a lot of points, and the Dukes have only scored 14 today.
Yeah, now you got to wonder, is it partially the playbook? Is it the aging offensive line? Is it still just the growing maturity of a young quarterback who puts one on the line to Matt Reeves, starting to build a rapport from quarterback to receiver there, and they're going to have several years to keep working and building on that.
Yeah, this is, as the season goes, as the farther we get away from that trade between Reeves and Earl Rose, like I said, I think it's a wash. Maybe, it might be a slight possibility that the Dukes have the advantage there on this trade.
Especially depending on who they pick with that second-round draft pick, and knowing that they certainly have Matt Reeves for 4 more years, whereas the Bombers still don't even know if they're going to have Earl Rose after this season. And if they don't make the playoffs, which they are at the very edge of right now, then what was it for?
Yeah, and wouldn't it be funny if I thought he caught it. Wouldn't it be funny if Earl Rose doesn't re-sign with the Bombers and comes back and the Dukes get him back as a free agent? That would be crazy.
Wouldn't that be something? You got to wonder if the way it went down leaves that door open. You got to ask Coach Shelby. He's the only one who would know. Meanwhile, Smokey Smith getting flushed out and throws it, but
he gets rid of it. But it's not enough for the first down, though.
Jinx with that, commish. Yeah, he throws it to the big man, but certainly well short of the sticks there.
Oh, and they're going for it here on 4th and 5 with 8.5 minutes to go.
Hey, that's a good time to be going for it. Don't wait till the end of the game. Try to do something right now. You're already past midfield.
Oh, he had a man open coming across from the right to left.
And it's incomplete, and he had an open receiver there, but he can't get him while he's throwing on the run.
He had a man open early, and he had a man open late. He just couldn't take the shot. As he takes a shot and goes down hard on that throwing arm. You got to hope he's okay out there as McLeod comes back now. And let's see if this cannon arm can come out here and just put the Dukes away finally.
First and 10 from the 31. Bubble screen, cutting inside, only getting 3 on that one. Both teams trying a lot of screen passes today.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line.
Out on the play action. He's got all day to throw here.
Throwing that arm, showing that arm, but throwing into double coverage. Not the best of decision. And if you wonder, he's had stats like he has all season, under 10 interceptions. I believe only 9 on the season. So usually not throwing into coverage like that, but tonight trying to press his luck just a little bit. Incomplete, throwing it low.
That's back-to-back throws where he just tries to force the pass in. He doesn't have to do that. He's got the arm to rainbow it out there to his guys. And he's trying to just laser shot every pass in. He doesn't have to do that. The Dukes get another chance here with around 7:20, 7-ish. Yeah, 7:20 to go in the game. Smokey Smith still has a chance to win this game. They're only down by 6. You got to go out there, young man, and be calm, cool, collected, and show everyone why you were drafted.
That's absolutely right, and Smokey takes it 1st and 10 out of the shotgun with a single back, staying in to pass protect. He has got the whole time, and he almost intercepted. Lucky that wasn't picked and 6th. 2nd and 10, staying in a shotgun with a back to his left.
Yeah, that was pure luck as Smokey runs it. Oh, that was a good idea, but a bad time to try to execute.
Yeah, not the best of execution. Smokey not known for being the most mobile of quarterbacks. He's got a little bit of speed, but he's certainly not. That's not the primary point of his game. Throwing it low and behind a big receiver. Running a shallow cross there, and that is going to be a 4th and 10.
As you see there, that's 6.5 minutes to go. Clock is starting to work against them here. They still have time, especially if this defense can come out here and stop them from scoring again.
Nice return out to the 30, and the thing is, right now, McLeod having a good game, not great, and the real difference in this game has been that punt, return, fumble, scoop, score, touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 1 touchdown by McLeod there, but I mean, no interceptions by either player, correct? Yeah, no interceptions by either team as he's up the middle. Great run as the sea parted in front of him right there.
Autry, the 2nd year back, certainly shifty and decisive. He makes 1 cut, plants, and goes downhill, and he's had a couple big chunk runs like that today on the game. This time, stopped pretty shortly, just after a yard.
There's a fullback in the play there, and they didn't use him. He should have ran off to the right side as the fullback just leveled the defensive end on that play.
Play action, a big boot with a big arm, throws and complete. That is a big chunk pass there. Get them deep downfield.
Yeah, that was a great play. That's where McLeod shines. He's got to have a guy where he can hit him in stride on the run, and that just shows. I mean, he's got a big arm. Yeah, the more I see this man, the more I'm like, I don't know how the ICEPACK can try to go after Frost.
And I doubt they probably would at this point. I mean, McLeod at 28 in a prime of his career. Also, he's still got 2 years left and a pretty big penalty if they do move on from him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, if anything, you got to think the ICEPACK want to build around him and see what they can do in the last 2 years of his deal before having to re-sign him to potentially monster money.
Oh, big stop there by the Dukes.
Yeah,
good,
and that, again,
game.
very atypical. McLeod, not a mobile quarterback at all. If anything, a little bit of a throwback, statuesque kind of signal caller, field general. Certainly not known for quarterback keeper option runs. Known for stuff more like that, a quick dump over the middle.
Yeah, and they love that 8 to 10 yard hook route right in the middle of the field.
So then it makes you wonder if those are the types of plays that they want to call. Is McLeod actually a good fit or not? Right here he is, throwing it for a big 1st down at the 1, but unfortunately not in for the score.
I thought he got in. That was my bad, guys. I thought he got in on that play. But then again, we thought they got a safety earlier too. So
yeah, I still say they were robbed on that one.
Yeah, that was a safety.
Tell Coach Shelby I'll sign the petition on the non-safety.
See, this would be a good time for McLeod to run, as there's only 3 down linemen, right, or 2 down linemen.
Instead, we head to the 2-minute warning. Can you believe it? This game has absolutely flown by, and it's been a great one.
Here we go, heavy on the right side. Let's see if they actually run it.
Powering up, and they do hand it off, and he gets in for the touchdown. That's a big score here. As Percy Autry really makes it look easy. Man on man along the trenches, and there was a hole for him.
Yeah, that might have just put the game away here. The Dukes have to score on this next drive, and you got in the back of their mind, they've got to know if they lose this game, they fall to 7-8. and they could potentially still be in first in that division.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're looking for a 2-point conversion, and they get it to Travis Connell at the pylon.
They got it. That was a toe tapping on the mark pass. You see the defender there. Dukes just can't believe what just happened to them.
And again, shows you the precise arm strength of Marcus McLeod and accuracy and a back shoulder fade at the pylon to Travis Connell. Talk about receiver and quarterback having a mind meld. Those two have got it.
A little Michael Jackson spin there at the end. Dukes are gonna see right under 2 minutes. They've got decent field position here. He's just been taking shots all night, especially to that right side, like we've talked about.
But being down by 2 touchdowns, this would be a Herculean effort to come back, even just to tie this one, let alone take the lead. You're talking about 3 scores, or I guess 2 with 2-point conversions.
Yeah, they'd have to get a 2-point conversion somewhere down there. As the guy's open over the middle of the field, he just takes too long and waits for him to
Can't be doing the dink and dunk here. 14 seconds lost here. Down to 1:30, 2nd and 7. Smokey throwing over the middle past the sticks, but Clark breaks up the pass. 3rd and 7. The ICEPACK defense looking to lock on and shut down the Dukes. Throws it over the middle, incomplete. Looks like just a little bit off on the timing pattern there.
And it's going to be 4th and 7 here. It's a big play. I mean, this is the game.
This is the game. The Dukes 4th and 7 out of the shotgun. 1:25. Play action. Throws it. Incomplete.
Oh, he's got it.
Middle.
He's got it.
Huge catch, and they are going to move quickly here. Even though they took the timeout, they still want to keep the tempo. Dumps it off to Snyder, who's got it up the seams and rumbles forwards. Unfortunately, they have to take another timeout with 1:15. Down to 1 timeout.
Clock is working against them here, especially with using their timeouts as he's going to go down.
Ooh, and not calling it a fumble. They are going to call it a sack, and they're going to not take the timeout, letting the play clock run. Play action, throwing it deep and intercepted. Sticky Picky.
Oh, my.
Looks like Tongue.
Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Great job as Tongue goes up and grabs it.
Lamar Tongue being the focal point of the ICEPACK jaw, clenching its teeth and sinking them in as the Dukes look like wounded rabbits, as this game is going to be wrapped up on an interception.
Yeah, and if you're watching this game and you think I can do better as a player, go submit it. You got 24 days left, and if you think you can do better as a GM and run a team better than what you saw tonight, get a hold of us. There's about 8 months until the next pro season, so you can get in, especially if you want in on one of these Nexus teams, and you can have your say on the mod upgrades on the what's the word I'm looking for? The
uniform
aesthetic
designs.
Side of the field.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. The aesthetic will be strong, and as a GM, you have the ability to directly influence and control the look of your team. That is reserved only for GMs of teams here in Football Rivals. Brand it the way you want it, and it looks like the ICEPACK want to take a knee and run out the clock on what was a incredibly tight back and forth game until the end. And here late in the 4th quarter, the ICEPACK put it away. Here at the Howling Moon Dome, it has been a fantastic game, and you have seen it all. So from here at the final whistle, Anchorage defends their turf like the hungry wolves they are, pulling away with the win, jumping to 8 and 7, keeping their postseason path alive. Meanwhile, the Dukes drop to 7 and 8. That division lead growing cold. Comeback.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. They're at 7 and 8, and they are in the lead still. So we'll see what happens next week. You got to think they have to win out the rest of the season to make the playoffs.
You'd think so, and tonight's MVP is probably Marcus McLeod, even though he only had 1 touchdown. And maybe the real MVP, W Energy. It's sugar-free, it's filler-free, crash-free, it's the official fuel